Good morning. You're listening to FloorDaily.net, and I'm Kemp Harr. This morning, my guest is Brett Porter, the newly named president of InteriorWorx Commercial Flooring. Brett, how you doing?
I'm doing well, Kemp. Thanks for having me on this morning.
Yeah, you've just become president. A little background. Most people have heard of what was called Resource Arizona that Bob Plan had owned. Now you've become the president, right?
That is correct, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Tell us a little bit about InteriorWorx in Arizona.
Sure. InteriorWorx, again, was the legacy Resource Arizona that Bob Plan had taken over from an earlier business, I think in the 90s. So back in 2015, InteriorWorx, which is a collection of companies based out of Utah, came in, purchased it, and has been managing the company now for just about a decade. So InteriorWorx as a whole, they have a home builder business up in Utah, windows, doors. They're in the lighting business down here in Arizona and in Utah. So kind of a collection of a lot of different trades that are out there in the field right now.
Mm-hmm. So you're running the commercial flooring business. I also noticed that InteriorWorx is part of the FEI group as well, right?
Correct. We hold a few different spots in the industry. Again, we're part of the Fuse Network, which has always been a proud partner with Bob Plan, and Paul Cote serving as president of that in the past. So it's a fantastic organization that's just on the rise right now.
Need to mention that Bob Plan was just last week at the Fuse meeting honored as a Hall of Fame recipient, right?
Correct. Yeah. And I got to tell you, I mean, one of the main reasons I kind of made my decision to come here was the ability to get to work with Bob. I mean, this group of guys has such a knowledge bank that anyone would be lucky enough to learn from. And Bob, at, I believe, 73 years old, is still extremely active in the business, extremely active with the customers. So, and the ability to get to learn from a legend, a Hall of Famer, if you would, like Bob, made this a really easy move for me.
Let's talk about your background real quick. Before this, you were with the Spectra, part of Diversify, did that for 5.5 years. And then prior to that, you were with Interior Logic Group for a couple of years. And you actually worked here at Resource Arizona prior to that, right?
Yeah, so my decision to come back was kind of threefold, but it kind of allowed me to return home, like you said. I started and really cut my teeth in the commercial game at Resource Arizona. At the time, these guys were really on the cutting edge of polished concrete, raised access flooring. I mean, they really had a vision of where the industry was going. Second, like you said, Interior Logic, Spectra, which is now part of the Diversify Group. What a way to learn and to see the national scope. So my ability to work there and what I learned was fantastic. But I always kind of came into both of those opportunities mid-flight. And really, in the end, what really made this an interesting thing is as InteriorWorx is really starting to take off, it was finally my turn to kind of be at the bottom floor of something that could be big. So I've seen what the big boys can become, and I really want to be part of that with InteriorWorx. And what really Ridgeview Capital, who is the private equity group that owns this, and Greg Larson has this vision. I think it's going to be a very interesting vision as he starts to bundle these non-traditional flooring scopes as we move forward into what we do.
All right. So you've just come on board here, and I'm being told your business is kind of in a growth mode right now. Tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, absolutely. The state of Arizona is in a growth mode, which has been fantastic over the last 5 years, and I don't see it stopping at any point. I think we have, with some infusion of some investments from outside, looking to really grow the team, really looking to hire in the school markets, higher ed, polished concrete, our other various fields that we really have a huge bandwidth to grow in. So we just added in some really good team players as well for myself. Brandon Hill, who's coming over from spending 11 years as an operations director for Interior Logic Group. Dan Young's joining the team, who actually used to be a general manager for Resource in Cincinnati. We have Paul Colombo, who is coming from Seattle, who's been in the market for years, but it's really a collection of a lot of all-stars in their fields, in their respective trades. So really excited where we're going, and we're still looking at. I think we're very open right now to expanding, whether it's going to be with sales, operation, trades. We are in complete growth mode right now.
I toured Bob's business a few years ago, and I was impressed. As a commercial flooring contractor, you're also doing design work. So when a project comes up, there's people there at Resource that, have computers and are assisting with the project, helping your customer as an advisor, right?
Absolutely. Bob was always in that forefront of the cradle to grave aspect of our business, whether it was having a BD representative actually calling on the architects, dealing with the architects, having a house that architects can come to. It was especially important during COVID when a lot of the larger firms shut down, the access to materials kind of dwindled. InteriorWorx had the door open. They had safe facilities put together. So architects could still visit, look at books, look at samples, still kind of create their vision. So that's kind of always been his forte and niche, was expanding it to the reach of everyone in the market, whether you're a designer, whether you're the general contractor, whether you're the end user or user. So they've always been in the forefront of making sure that they were helping cradle to grave.
Well, this is exciting news that you're kind of building a dream team here, and you're going to help Bob's legacy business grow even further.
Absolutely. The timing just was great. And it's always hard when you're kind of starting at the bottom, especially with all of us being at such well-established businesses like Spectra, which, you know, the diversified team and what Daniel's doing there is so exciting, and it's going to be huge. InteriorLogic and Brandt, they just keep growing every single day. I really looked at this, and so did the other guys right now, of an opportunity to kind of leave our own mark into the industry, not only here in Arizona, hopefully the Southwest and beyond. So as you see more and more of these collections and collectives of operations grow, it really was just our turn to kind of take our time to see if we could have that shot at the bat, if you would, right, to grow our own business.
Okay, great, Brett. It's good to catch up with you. You've been talking to Brett Porter, the newly named president of InteriorWorx commercial flooring business, and you've been listening to Kemp Harr and FloorDaily.net.